Welcome to this week's Business Africa. Here are the top stories. Malawi is grappling with shrinking foreign currency reserves in addition to the devaluation of its national currency of the kwacha. Consequently, inflation went beyond 13% in May. In Senegal, the cashew season is in full swing in Casamance. Last year, more than 82,000 tons were exported. Despite the sector's solid economic performance, some farmers may not benefit from it. The tourism sector in the Comoros was heavily hit by the COVID-19 shutdowns, just like several other nations. To ensure the sector regains momentum and attracts visitors again, the Union of the Comoros spares no effort. Malawi is among the world's top exporters of barley tobacco, but fails to shore up enough foreign currency reserve. With the sole revenue generated by the leaf exports, the country has invested in tea, sugar and soybean in a bid to diversify its exports. Still, the nation needs $1 billion each year in order to secure vital imports.
Malawi's economy, which is 27% dependent on agriculture, is being hampered by a foreign exchange reserve crisis. Gross official reserves fell to $374 million in the first quarter of 2022 from $429 million in the fourth quarter of 2021. As a result, inflation exceeded 13% in May as the country imports almost all of its commodities. To meet its needs, it must spend over $2.8 billion a year. This is more than primary agricultural production can provide. Malawi mainly exports tobacco, which provides 70% of its resources. In 2021, the crop brought in just over $170 million, according to Tobacco Commission, after 123 million kilograms were sold. To cope with the economic crisis, the Southern African country is in discussion with the IMF to extend credit facility over a period of 4 years. But the institution is conditioning its support on the country's ability to restore debt sustainability as the audit of foreign exchange reserves, as well as kicking out its affordable input program.
I am joined by Sir Bechani Chereni, professor at the Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences. Professor, why is Malawi's economy facing a forex reserves shortage?
In terms of imports, we need about 2.7, if not 2.8 billion US dollars per year for us to import commodities. But how much we get through exports, it's about 700 to 800 million US dollars. That means already there is a difference of about 1.8 or 1.9 billion US dollars for us to survive in this country for the different or various commodities that we require. So that's the reason why we are having this problem of foreign exchange in the country.
What are your thoughts on the government's decision to devaluate the kwacha in order to curb inflation?
So when you devalue, what do? You place the dollar where, or indeed any foreign exchange, where it has to be. And because you have placed it where it has to be, you are actually controlling the demand for that currency. So you are going to lessen the demand, thereby bringing it where it is going to be a bit stable. Noise is going to be removed, speculation also is going to be removed. And that way, you are solving the problem of removing pressure from the economy, which is not necessarily solving the problem of inflation, which devaluation brings into the economy. So as much as you are stabilizing the economy, as much as you are stabilizing the macroeconomic fundamentals, but what is becoming to be a problem now is that most of the commodities which even the poorest individual at the rural area will need, they are going to be expensive.
Aren't corruption and the state's resource mismanagement the weaknesses of Malawi's economy?
Look, those things are cancers, and they have been there. They do have their own significant contribution to the negativity that is happening in the economy right now. Because in terms of corruption, look, corruption comes in a number of ways. One major aspect is through procurement of commodities. Remember what I said, that most of these commodities are being procured from outside the country. So that means even government procurement. So 80% of the government budget is actually into procurement. of goods and services. Now, if more than 80% of that 80% is actually demanding for foreign exchange, and mainly it's because also that the prices have been inflated to people so that they want to make sure that those who want to benefit from there, they're also benefiting. That is why you're finding that the prices are going to be expensive and the demand for foreign exchange is going to be much higher than if there was no corruption.
Minerals in Malawi include gold, uranium and bauxite. Do you think this mining potential can contribute to reducing the import dependency?
We really need to diversify our economy, to industrialize. Of course, the Vision 2063 is very, very clear on that one, that we would like to become a self-sustaining economy, and how we are going to do that, one of the anchoring pillars is actually industrialization, with mining as a prioritization. And that mining, following the African mining vision, it's very important for us to look at benefication, not just the mining, but we have to look at benefication. What do I mean by that? Yes, we do have the gold, we do have the uranium, and many other minerals, they are here, and many other natural resources, they are here. Let's think about ways of us exporting them, but as we're exporting them, we must add some value. And as we are adding that value, we must make sure that the side forward and backward linkages, they are there to help us so that we can industrialize the country for self-sustenance and also for export earning. Right now, mining contributes a very, very small little percentage to the GDP of this country. Agriculture contributes about 27%. Manufacturing contributes just about 10%, and that's very, very small. Industry services such as banking, insurance, they contribute about 16%. But mining, it contributes even less than 5%. I mean, that should not be happening for a country which is hugely endowed in a number of minerals.
Professor Bichani Chireni, thank you for your insight.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
The cashew season has begun in Casamance, south of Senegal. The business of the nut is gaining popularity and contributes to the economic growth of regions like Ziguinchor. In 2021, 82,000 tons, worth about $81 million, were exported. Some farmers are now coming together to benefit from the profitable business. Here's the report of our correspondent, Wahani Johnson Sambu.
In Mulomb, a village of Ziguinchor in the south of Senegal, cashew nut producers want to make the crop an engine for their prosperity, but its price won't let them. Sometimes the prices in Ziguinchor and those in Mulomb are the exact opposite. If the prices are 500 francs in Ziguinchor, we're charged 300 to 350 francs per kilo here. I'm here in a cashew plantation, and there are dozens of plantations like this in this village. The fruit that I have in my hands is a delicacy, but it is the nut that's most precious. But the producers say they are not benefiting enough from the crop, whose exports generate several billion CFA francs per year in Senegal. To prevent intermediaries from profiting, we agreed that no one would sell. We have a harvest time and we respect it. So when our nuts arrive, we group them together to impose a price. But the reality seems quite different here at a warehouse belonging to one of the few Senegalese exporters. For Bey, Gilai and Doe, the prices are determined by market forces. It is not only in Senegal where the crop is produced. Internationally, there's Benin, there's Ghana, Ivory Coast, Guinea-Bissau, Gambia and Tanzania. And there are prices for everyone. More than 76,000 tons of cashew nuts are currently stored in Ziguinchor awaiting export.
The Union of the Comoros is betting on sustainable tourism to outshine the Seychelles. During the Moroni Tourism Convention that took place on May 10 and 11, the rebuilding of the Galawa Hotel, one of the Comoros' finest hotels, was launched. The works should last 18 months. Raphael Tavernier has the latest on the story.
Collecting waste and cleaning the beaches is what the young people of the village of New Machua on the island of Moheli in the Comoros do 3 times a month, guided by a local association. The objective is to improve the living conditions of the community, but also to adopt an eco-responsible touristic approach. We get ourselves organized, then we go to the beach. We group the waste into different categories and then we export it elsewhere to allow for better development of the village, but also to attract more tourists to our islands and beaches. In the cities too, the youth now participate in the preservation and enhancement of the Comoran tourist heritage. The Unjembe, the palace of the sultans of Mutsumudu on the island of Anjouan, is a good example. The workers here are mainly young people trained to restore the site.
Integrating young people in the restoration is important because they are the future. Thanks to this, they will be able to learn and they will be able to teach others.
Whilst the Comoran government wants to raise the archipelago to the rank of tourist destination of reference by 2030, the integration of dynamic projects with the young may be important, but these actions would need a boost. At the governmental level, it is also necessary to accompany the authorities of the tourism sector so that they can advance the economy and create a maximum of jobs for the youth. In order to provide a better framework for the development of the tourism sector in Comoros, a tourism code has now been drawn up with the help of the World Tourism Organization.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of Business Africa. Stay tuned to Africa News and africanews.com. Bye for now.